What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we got to talk about the Game Awards 2021 and Hogwarts Legacy. The time is again here, and obviously, we do this for pretty much every event that happens. I get what it maybe comes off across to certain people on the internet, but we got to do our thing. Look, this is kind of it, right? This is it for 2021. Obviously, the hopes were there for the state of play. My hopes were there. Your hopes were there. Millie A's. We've had people that have talked about Hogwarts Legacy. And again, I guess I'll go back, and obviously this does play into the Game Awards quite, it's a huge thing, is that, Millie A, notable-ish leaker online, has talked about how she believes we'll see Hogwarts either in October or December. October is past, the state of play is past, and I guess it never really had a chance there, considering the scope and scale, which we did talk about, right? What kind of scale the state of play would be. Obviously would not have fit what they were trying to go for there. December was that other one, even outside of the leaks, which granted, the more these people are wrong, the less people believe them, which is actually the way it probably should go. You know what I mean? So if she's wrong, if the game isn't shown in December, then, I've been backing her. I've been backing her for a couple months now. I would definitely take some steps back. I mean, that trust would just end up being strained, just like it should for any leaker, considering their entire, credibility rests on if they're right or wrong. And then, it goes from there. I guess aside from that, though, the Game Awards naturally makes sense. It's a big show. It's one of the biggest shows. It's, as Jeff Keighley would call it, right? A celebration of games, celebrating the year that was and whatever year, we're talking about. And so, like any Game Awards, like any Gamescom, Summer Game Fest, E3, obviously the shot or the chance is there. It is. And, it's tough. I guess what I want to say is I really think it's got a really good shot. But I always say that. And so I'm trying to keep that in mind as I talk to you guys and just be very, real and transparent. I will be honest. I mean, I am getting tired of thinking, not even expecting it to be somewhere, just thinking it could be somewhere, and then it to not happen. It's tiring, and I get it. You probably shouldn't get your expectations and hopes up every single time, because that's what it leads to. It leads to you getting disappointed. I don't really know if I'm disappointed. I'm just more or less like, I'm just waiting. We're just sitting here every day as Hogwarts Legacy fans, right? And we're just tired of it. We just kind of want the game to be shown again. I think that's a very fair thing for us to, I guess, ponder over. Now, granted, this kind of stuff has happened before, which I do try to remind anybody who's down in the dumps. I try to be that, spirit, that light at the end of the tunnel, and say, games do this. There has been games that come out or that get announced and they go on a very long hiatus, and that's, and Hogwarts Legacy stuff has happened, right? The game was supposed to come out this year. It was delayed. Obviously, it was a big delay. Otherwise, we probably would have seen the game already, but December is obviously still the final month of the year. So I do think it's possible. I think it lines up, and I'll say this probably in a lot of the videos I make about the Game Awards, but one thing I try to I try to remind everybody on Summer Game, anything I guess tied to Jeff Keighley, right? Summer Game Fest, Game Awards, sometimes Gamescom, is he has a very specific pattern of what he likes to do. And Game Awards is a little bit different, right? Because there are the award parts, even though the awards are easily the least interesting, nobody really cares. It's actually the least time spent on them in the award show, even though he talks them up so much. They don't really spend too much time giving the awards out. But the thing is, you'll have your big announcements. You'll sometimes have games that are returning, games that we've seen before, and they'll return. You'll have brand new game announcements. You'll have games that are coming out soon and also far away. He announced, and he's actually in the past decade, even when it was Spike and all that stuff, he's announced games, new games countless times. And you have Dragon Age 4. That game was 5-6 years out from when they started the day before when he announced it. I'm just kidding. But you have that Mass Effect, right? Last year he announced the new Mass Effect game, which is quite a big deal. And that game is probably 3 or so years right now from happening, maybe more. So you go back a full year ago, right? It was another year, longer coming out. So I guess what I'm trying to say is Hogwarts Legacy being a gigantic game. It is. It's a gigantic game. Fits it. It fits the bill. It fits the bill also of a game that we've seen before and we know there's a lot of hype on, and that's kind of what he also likes to do. In fact, for Gamescom, right, the big thing was Elden Ring. That was the big closer of Gamescom, and it was something he was very, very proud of. And why? Well, it's something that so many people are into. It's a prideful kind of thing that he can get that, where it's like, you've seen the game before. It's not a new announcement. Kind of is, because it gave the release date, but it's not a new game. It's a game we've seen, and he's going to kind of bring it back out because he knows so many people, are ready for it, care about it, and they were ready to show it. Obviously, there's that issue, right, with Hogwarts Legacy, where it's where are they in the development? Are they able to show a trailer? I really think, and I guess the thing that kind of does get me depressed that we've talked about before, right, is I get the hyperbole of this is it, this is their last chance, and I don't like saying things like that, because I don't, and specifically for this, I don't really mean it, but I guess the thing is, if it's not shown at the Game Awards, we got nothing. We got an entire, I guess, well, two parts of this, right? You have an entire year of 2021 where we got zero tweets. Well, they got the delay tweet, right? So you got a couple things, but they were all negative, or all, nothing really that pushed the needle forward. And then you have an unknown of next year. When in God's name does it get shown next year? Do we have to wait till E3? Well, what if WB doesn't do it? Or what if it's another diversity conference like they had this year? It's not going to be there. So, what do we, what are we, looking forward to for Hogwarts Legacy? What are we looking at next year? So, I get, and I think people have that kind of fear in them. And again, I try to be that optimistic person, and I am by trade. But I will admit, if it's not here at December, at the Game Awards, which, by the way, Game Awards is December 9th. I'll be co-streaming it. I should have probably said that in the beginning, but I'll be covering it a ton. And again, I hope it's there. If it's not there, I don't, it's kind of do we leave it alone? Do we just kind of take some steps back? Obviously I don't think I'm going to do that, but I think a lot of other people will. So look, as of right now, as of November 3rd, that's when I'm recording this video, there is nothing to go off of. They haven't said anything. There's been no cryptic messages, no cryptic tweets. Jeff Keighley hasn't said anything. I am sure over the next month we will get teases from him, from studios that could or could not be going, from industry insiders, right? They'll probably tease, some things that'll be there. We're going to get stuff. Whether it's pro it going or, it's not going to go, we're going to get something over the next, I'd say, month or so. I really want it to be there. I think it does check a lot of boxes. Big game, big fandom, been long enough since we've seen it last. Big stage to show it at now. I'm just trying to go through everything you can think of that would make sense. It's a game that comes out probably next year, so it's not a game that comes out 5 years from now. It's a game we already know. It really fills in a lot of those boxes that Jeff Keighley has. And again, I really do. I guess if you're not into it, you maybe don't care. But if you do watch all his shows, I've watched pretty much every single Game Award, every Game Award that's happened, and then even when it was the Spike Game Awards, I watched several of those. You watch those, you watch what he does with Summer Game Fest, you watch Gamescom. There is a pattern. There's some big games, new games that we haven't seen yet. There's big games that we have seen that come back, so that's a Hogwarts Legacy. There's middle tier games. Some are exciting to people, some aren't, right? And then you have the lower tier, the indies, the stuff that's just kind of weird that maybe some people like and maybe some people don't like, right? That's generally how he does it. And obviously there's a big closing, act. Maybe there's a big opening act. That's kind of the way these things work. Game Awards, again, is a little bit different because you have the award part in it. But besides that, it's relatively the same as what he constantly does. So it's going to be exciting. I'm excited for it regardless, by the way, of Hogwarts Legacy, because I do really enjoy these Game Awards quite a bit. So we'll see what happens, but I will be covering it. And if I see any leaks or rumors, or if you guys see them actually over the next couple of weeks, send them to me. I'll talk about them, and we'll go from there. Here's hoping, though. Here's hoping. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all of these videos go up. If you guys want to follow me over on Twitter or subscribe to my second YouTube channel or support us on Patreon or YouTube memberships, links for all of them are in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.